Wait, that was only... Oh my gosh, that was only 4 Sunday songwritings earlier. What? I need a raise. I need a raise. So here's our good friend Mark again, who, as I said in Hempdemic, just would not do any reporting on the hemp activism that I asked him to. Just featuring some things about hemp that might seem like they're going well, but ignoring the power of the people.
Dancey, dancey, sing song.
HB 847 is the one that raises the processing fee. So how do you feel about that?
I think that it will monopolize the industry to where only 1 or 2 big players, and specifically one big player, is going to be able to stay in business and is going to put out all the other processors.
And that's why it's so important.
And here again, he's expressing something that is not fully true, misleading the public, the mob, to celebrate something that is, just so shallow right now. You see, in court on Monday, in 277, I'm following this whole case of Georgia being sued for the 2020 election, and oh my gosh, I know it's so controversial, but y'all, new evidence in their favor is actually popping up every day, and I'm following this for you to share as like a truthful media source, or at least somewhat entertaining. Y'all, I have a comment from Garland Favorito, who is actually verifying something different than what Mark Neese has shared in the AJC, and you all need to see it. And this is like so premature to expressing this whole 277 movie, but this is... I gotta just get this out there, and stay tuned for the full documentary. I mean, new information comes out every day, so you can't blame me for 277 being lost in paradise. I mean, isn't it possible to have media that's not so one-sided? It's like Republican views are on Fox, Democratic views are on like everything else. It's like, why isn't there a media that can show both sides? Or why isn't there a media that just cares about the truth? Is this a premonition to an upcoming Sunday songwriting? Anyway, I just hope that on my video I can present both sides of the issue. Though it does seem that I am going to express more of the most unpopular, hidden views, because I feel like that is more of a service to humanity, since you can get the other views everywhere else. Right after my interview with Garland, which is going to be in Sunday Songwriting 277, he got this phone call, and I took out my camera, which I don't think he was very happy about, but I thought it would be good to film some of this footage for you all. Hold the presses! Do you see what I said here? Ballot just became public record as soon as Kemp signed SB202 into law, which we testified for in front of everyone, because it was not in the other election bills.
I'm not taking sides, we all want the truth. Now this black box voting is so uncouth. Why our dominion image is hidden? There's no reason they should be forbidden. It's quite the contrary. They are not proprietary.
People need to understand the value of that. The ballot image is becoming public record. So valuable.
Quite the contrary. They are not proprietary.
There's a scan of the ballot, and then the very next page is the results of the ballot that's tallied on there. And the results, at the top, it'll give you a timestamp at the top, and it says scanned on ICC tabulator 729, batch 2, poll ID 386, ballot ID 353. And then there's another one that has it has a separate timestamp that has all the same numbers. Poll ID is the same, ballot ID is the same. Votes on the ballot are exactly the same. Garland, I've found 80, and I've only gone through 3 files.
And they're all sequential?
Yeah, you'll find like a ballot, and then the very next one there'll be a duplicate. Sometimes there'll be like 3 duplicates in a row, where you'll end up having 1 original and 3 duplicates after it, so you've got 4 total that get all counted.
He's ordering
ordering all 147,000 absentee ballots to be unsealed from Fulton County.
Back to Fulton County, Georgia right now, where our reporter Blaine Alexander apparently has some new reporting on the expectations for that count.
Well, Rachel, we've learned that the counting continues tonight. You know, right here in State Farm Arena behind me, we've learned that there are 5 people who are still working to scan those absentee ballots and try and get those numbers tabulated. Indeed, there are still some people in there quite literally burning the midnight oil, scanning ballot after ballot.
5 actual individuals who are working on all the absentees in Fulton County right now? Just 5? Wow. Talk about having the fate of the nation in your hands.
Ruby is seen here in this video running the exact same stack of ballots through the machine 3 times. Other workers do the same.
Wow.
I think this is it. I don't even think we need the paper ballots. I think this is enough to prove that anybody who voted in Fulton County, they didn't, their vote didn't count. They were disenfranchised. And I bet if we go through every damn one of them, you'll probably find like 80,000 of them.
So are they counterfeit or are they duplicate?
They're duplicate.
They're duplicate, but they're not counterfeit.
I don't think they're counterfeit. I mean, when I'm looking at them, I can look at them on the screen like side by side. They're duplicate.
That makes some sense.
It's like they were run through twice.
Yeah, they were probably run through twice, even though they were good.
Or 3 or 4 times. So anyway, when you get back to a place where you can be in front of a computer screen, I'd love to do a quick little FaceTime call, or not FaceTime, but Zoom call or whatever, so you can see it.
Yeah.
And see exactly what I'm talking about. It's blowing me away when I'm looking at it.
So anyone following closely knows that about a month after I spied on Garland, the courts awarded them with a forensic audit.
A judge is authorizing another review of Georgia's 2020 presidential election results. He's ordering all 147,000 absentee ballots to be unsealed from Fulton County.
Shortly after that, like less than a week later, there were some motions filed to stop the audit, which basically just halted this process and my video. On June 21st, they proceeded to their next court hearing where they would find out just how these motions went. So back to this article from today, or yesterday, which basically discourages anyone to think that there is fraud, and features this quote from Rob Pitts.
Meritless claims and a big lie, blah blah blah. Enough is enough, all circus must end.
But this, my friends, is how Garland views what happened on June 21st. We are pleased that the court has ruled in our favor again for the 5th time. The ruling substitutes defendants by replacing currently named government organizations with individual board members we named as defendants originally in our lawsuit. It also mooted Don Samuel's attempt to dismiss our case. This continues the string of victories we have had in obtaining the original protective order, conditional approval to inspect ballots, access to ballot images, and the order to unseal the ballots. Garland, we wish you luck. So stay tuned for 277, where I not only follow this case, but I talk about the emotional implications of doing something like this, my stage fright. I talk about SB202. I don't want to do this video. But I have to. How could I not? And by the way, another article came up about that today. The feds are suing Georgia. I do hope whatever is found suppressive is healed, and pretty sure someone bought the hashtag Trump's Big Lie because it's being used over and over again. And another Garland speaks to this, Attorney General Merrick Garland, so don't get confused between the two. Can you believe it? Anyway, there's all kinds of real issues going on, systemic racism, and also there are ways that humans are dealing with this, which is, to me, just causing a lot of division.
Like, wow, congrats.
And it's time to unify. For all of my hard work following this election transparency, I appreciate you, whoever you are, flying me out to Colorado to play at the All-Star Game, which was hijacked from my hometown, Georgia.
So let's